welcome back to WRPB. Water. We drink it, we bathe in it, we swim in it. Water is always a concern here in South Florida because there's so many different things that happen with our waterways, and you know, in the end, it affects what happens in our homes as well. I'm with Patricia from Safeway Water Technologies. Thanks for coming in.
Sure, anytime.
Patricia, tell me what Safeway Water Technologies is.
Well, technically, people say it's a water treatment company, but actually, we filter and purify water.
So, is this a system that you put into your individual sinks, or is it for your whole household?
Well, that's a yes and a yes plus more.
Okay, well, let's talk
Um,
about that.
yeah, our company has multiple facets. So, yes, we do put something small under your sink, about yay size that will purify water at one tap. We also can put it at your entire home that will filter out any impurities. Of course, we have to, people always ask on the phone, can you give me a price? No. And that's because we don't know your home. We don't know what's in your water. So once we figure out what the issues are in your water and what your needs are, do you have special needs people in your home? Do you live there year round? What are your pipes made? All sorts of different things. We decide what is best for your home. Personally, I have a complete whole home reverse osmosis. So what you have under your sink in the kitchen for most people, we have for our whole home.
Mm-hmm.
But we also do large scale systems that are engineered and designed by us for surgery centers, hospitals, hotels, restaurants, motorcycle companies, limousine companies that want no spots. We do just about any place that has water.
So, this is not just your basic home filtration system.
We do that, but
So,
we
it can
do
be,
more than
but
that.
it can be much
Yes.
on a much larger scale.
Yes,
You
if
can
you
go
have,
residential and commercial.
yes, sir, we do both. So we can do city water. We do a lot of that. We also do well water, and we do have some specialty systems that we've designed for horse farms. A lot of people spend a lot of money on their horses. They're not just farm animals.
Right.
So we have specialty systems for barns and portable ones that you can take to horse shows and things like that. We also have special water systems for the cannabis industry and coffee shops. Coffee shops in particular have very expensive equipment, and there's special needs that have to make the water a certain acidity and so forth for
Mm-hmm.
taste as well.
So, this isn't just about pulling impurities out of water. You have the ability to put good things into the water as well with these?
Well, basically, we like to take things out that are bad. For instance, our local city water, there's a website, it's a third party, ewg.org, where you can put in your zip code anywhere in the United States and see what's in your water. And locally, we have an exorbitant amount of chlorine, and we also have arsenic in the
Mm-hmm.
city water. It's under what's considered federal guidelines, but I don't want any arsenic in my water.
Yeah.
But we do have alkaline cartridges, and there are things like that. And it's not really like you were saying about adding things to the water. It's getting that perfect mix for what you were after. Like people that run pizza parlors, if you want that New York pizza, you got to have that New York water.
Sure.
So my husband knows how to do that and make it in a specific way, so you get that mix.
So, you kind of develop the filtration system around what the need is for the business or the household.
Correct.
So, let's back up for a minute.
Sure.
I pick up the phone and I call you and I say, I need some information. I don't like my water. I want you to come and fix it. What are the next steps? What happens from there?
Well, of course, what we would want to do is schedule an appointment to come to your home, because we can't do anything without good sample of that water. I would find out, basic information, address, phone number, whether you're on well or city, or whether you also are looking for something at your business or work as well. And then we go on that appointment, and we have a test kit. It looks like a science, it's got all the little test tubes and beakers and little chemicals, and we use that to find out what the acidity is of your water, how much chlorine is in your water, iron, all the different things that you would not want. If you have, if you suspect that there could be something worse, then we can also take samples and take them to a third-party lab.
So a lot of the wells, especially, well, it's wells down here in Florida, and I know even up north, are full of sulfur. Can you help that situation?
Yeah, there's two basic ways of doing that. One is an aerator, which is a little outdated, but it works, and some people choose that. And there's also what's called a peroxide injection, and that can help with that too. So we determine how bad the sulfur is, which way you want to go. And
So now, where do I go from here? You come in, you put a system in my home. What do I need to do to maintain that?
Well, all of our home systems come with a year of service. It's built into the cost, so we will be there if it's city water every 60 days, if it's well water every 30 days for the first year, because we're not one of those companies that's going to just put in your system and walk away.
Okay.
We want to make sure that it works correctly, your water is safe, and you're happy with the water.
So 30 days into this, you step in, you do a service call, and I say, gee, it's better, but it just doesn't seem right. It seems like I taste more chlorine now than I did before. Is there adjustments that we make? Because I'm sure it can't be perfect as soon as you put it in.
Should be. It should be.
Should be.
Yes, but we do not go away. We are here. You call us, you say, hey, this isn't what I expect. And we'll say, great, I'm sorry. We're going to be right out there. Great that you called. We're going to come out, retest the water. We're going to look at all the equipment, make sure that us or our technicians have installed it correctly, make sure that why is it doing this, and find out, and we will fix it. It's included. Yes.
So why go through all this? Why go through having filtration systems on my sink and on my house and this and that when I can just run down to the local big box store
And buy
and
some
grab
bottled water. Yeah.
Well, not even buy bottled water. I can grab the little refrigerator filter and stick it in there. And is it the same? Is it different?
Well, if you're buying bottled water, of course that fills up landfills, and you're getting microplastics in your water as you drink. Anything that's in plastic, whether it's the big bottle on that jug you're speaking of, or little bottles, you're adding microplastics into your body. And the second is, for me, for instance, chlorine. Chlorine is a gas. So, yeah, we'll filter it out. But if you don't filter it out, you're not just drinking it, you're absorbing it into your skin. When you take a shower, it turns into a gas with heat. So if you're taking a warm shower, you're breathing chlorine in. And that's just one of the chemicals. So all the things that are in your water, it's not like it was, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. Now, in 2026, there's so many things in the water. There's just so many I can't even name, but
Sure.
You want to find out what's in your water. That's why I always say the most important water in the world is yours,
Right.
because it's personal to you.
So, can my water be different than my neighbors, even though we're all on city water?
Yes, it can.
And that is because of the way that it comes into the house, maybe?
Well, it could be a couple of things. You could have different piping. One of you could have a pinhole in some of the piping and debris getting in there. So there's multiple ways where it could be different. if everything is in a perfect world, it would be exactly the same.
Sure. You mentioned earlier that when you consider the household and what have you, you mentioned special needs. Is the water contributing to the health of a special needs individual?
Well, the difference is that people that have special needs are more sensitive. And for instance, you have a special needs person in your home and you just want the little faucet by the sink with the RO under the sink.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that person will be more sensitive to, the showers and all the different ways, are you making dinner with that RO water or are you using city water? So everything affects them a little bit more, and we would be more apt to lead you towards a whole house system so that they're a little more protected, just in case.
You mentioned something very important that we don't think about. You get in the shower, you take a bath, whatever, and you're absorbing what's coming out of that faucet.
Yep.
We don't think about that because we jump in the shower, we lather up, we rinse off, and it all just falls off and it goes away. That's not necessarily the case.
Correct, it's not. And you just mentioned soaps. Have you ever read on the shampoo bottles where they say you use a little dime size and then repeat, and everybody laughs at that, right? Right? Well, that's because everyone has hard water. If you have soft water, you really only need that much. The reason everyone uses large amounts of laundry detergent and shampoos and so forth is because you have to clean through all of that hard water, the hardness, to get to the actual dirt.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned soft water, and you triggered this thought in my head. I remember as a kid, all the houses had a water softener.
Did they?
Oh yeah.
Oh, great.
I'm
Great.
from up north, so all the
Gotcha.
houses had a water softener, and you had to fill them with salt, and it filtered the water and made everything great. Is this somewhat like the same process?
Well, a softener does just that. It removes the hard things that are in the water. A filter is more apt to do other things and filter out other items. So sometimes you need both.
So, can you provide both?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so you really kind of come in and take care of the whole process.
yes, from start to finish, and then at least a year afterwards. After that, if you want us to still come by, there's a fee for, service. But the first year in particular, we want to make sure that our installation is proper
Sure,
and that our clients are happy
that's
and
great.
and safe. We want this odd, weird things out of the water.
Yeah, you don't realize the things that are in our water. There's so many chemicals and nutrients, and they talk about the natural filtration of water going through the earth, but as we continue to go on through life, the earth isn't what it used to be. So,
And you mentioned natural. Arsenic is natural. There are some natural things that you don't want in your drinking water
Sure.
either. And yes, the earth is made to filter out that water. And like I mentioned earlier, a perfect world, the mountain streams would come down and everything would be clean and we would have perfect world water. But as you see, you look in your creeks and rivers and reservoirs around here, and
yeah,
there's trash and dead animals and assorted oddities in there, and you don't really want that going in your body.
yeah, that's rough. Patricia, we could talk about this for a while, I'm sure, but we're coming to the end of our time. Is there any message that you would like to give out to people?
Well, I just want everyone to think about their water. People are trying to be healthier, they're exercising, eating clean food. Just think about your water. You don't want to mess up all the health benefits that you're adding now. Everything that people are doing and learning. Your water is life.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure that you're considering that. Whether you go get it from us or somewhere else. It needs to be filtered and clean and safe.
How do people reach you?
My phone number is on the screen. That goes straight to our office manager. Our website is fixanywater.com, and you can send a little message from there.
Great. Folks, it is so important that we make sure that what we're putting in our bodies, whether it is purposely by drinking or just jumping the shower for your morning routine, we're conscious of what's going on. There's a whole different world than what we realize, and our health and safety depends on it. Make sure that you reach out to Patricia at Safeway Water Technologies. Let them come out, take a look, do a professional treatment, find out what's going on in your household so that you can provide the safety and assurances for your family that they deserve. Patricia, thank you again for coming in. It was a pleasure to talk with you. We'll be back.